Okay, great. Well, today we're going to be creating a hidden picture book. So the first step is that you log into your elementary account. And we're just going to do this together because it's pretty simple and it's pretty fun to do. So make sure you log in and then go to write. And you can go ahead and write a new story. So I'm going to go to my story that I started because this is going to be my template for a lesson plan for teachers and other students and clubs and such. So, yep, write a new story and then you create a new story. If you're new, there might be a pop-up that has a tutorial. We can just skip that for now. You can go back to it and review the tutorials in the tutorial tab. So here's the dragon tutorial. You could just cancel out of that. And you should have a blank page. Everyone good? So you can let me know when you're all ready and we can move on. Okay, so I need you to help me with describing what a hidden picture book is. So what is a hidden picture book? And what are some examples of hidden picture books that you may have read? So you can type in the chat, you can unmute yourself. We don't have that many people. You could. Where's Waldo is an example. We have Where's Waldo? Anybody have any other examples that they might want to share? So what happens in Where's Waldo, for those that don't know? How would you describe Where's Waldo book as? Yeah. So what's the difference between Where's Waldo and I Spy? You don't know I Spy? See? Someone please explain what I Spy is. Yeah. Yeah, Lily? Okay, so you have eyes. So I Spy books are when you describe something and then you have to find it. Oftentimes when I read I Spy books, you have multiple objects on a very cluttered page and you have to try to find all of those objects. So it might be like, I spy 3 seashells, 4 birds, and 2 unicorns, or something like that. And in comparison, what's Where's Waldo books like? What are they like for people who don't know? Okay, so Where's Waldo are basically picture books where we need to find a single character Waldo. And if you know who Waldo is, he's a guy with a striped shirt, red and white, with a little hat. And he's on every page. And usually the page has lots of stuff on it. So this is Where's Waldo. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing something similar to Where's Waldo rather than I Spy today. So the first step that I want you to do on your page is you're going to choose a character. So you're going to choose your Waldo, except you can name your character whatever you want. So you go to your images and you can scroll down and you can sort if you want maybe like animals. Maybe I want an animal. Maybe I want this goose. Looks kind of funny. Yeah, you could say, where's the pickle, okay? No problem. Oh, this is a really cute mouse. I'm going to choose this mouse. And then the next step is once you choose your character, you want to give your character a name. So are we good? How do you go to this page? Are you on elementary? Make sure you create a new story. And it looks like this. And then you can go to your sidebar to choose an image that you want. So I already started my page. I'm going to go back to my original story. Okay, so once we have our character, everyone found their character? Okay, what's my mouse name gonna be? Someone help me. What's a good mouse name? What's a good mouse name? What's this? Type it in the chat. What's a good mouse name? Albie? Okay, sure, Albie. My name is Marvin. I like Marvin too. Anyway. Okay. My name is Albie. Okay, so now I'm going to, once we have our mouse, I want everyone to try this, to copy their mouse, and then they can paste the mouse. So you can copy also by using your keyboard, Control-C, Control-V. And this is just so that way, if we want to hide our mouse, we can get our mouse image quite easily. So the first step we're going to do is make sure we get a nice background. And then we're going to hide our mouse, or in your case, whatever character you chose. And you want to make sure that we add some text to the top that says something like, I don't know, what was my mouse's name again? Albie? Yes. So you could just close out of it. So here's the dragon tutorial. You just press cancel, and then you should have a white page. Is that okay now? So if you want to get the characters, you go to the Images tab, you click on Images, and then you select the image that you want and the character that you want. So I went into Animals, and then I found my mouse in the animal. Great. So when we write our hidden picture book, we want to have some sort of text that says, like, Albie, I don't know, likes to wake up in the morning and eat, I don't know, cheese. Where is Albie? Okay, so we have our mouse on the page and we can hide it. So I'm gonna grab some trees first. And I'm gonna hide him behind a tree. I don't like. This is a cute. Okay, so we have our tree. And when you want to hide things, you have a bring to front and bring to back. So these two icons here are very useful when we want to hide things on a page. Make sense? Okay, so now we have a tree with a mouse or whatever you have on your page. And now we want to code. So in order to code, we need to go where? We need to go to the event graph. So you're going to click on the event graph. And here we can code. So what do we want? Let's go back to layout. What do we want to do? Maybe we want to click on the mouse and then have him jump, let's say. Okay, so let's try to do that. In order to do that, we have to create an overlay. So for example, if I do the normal thing, which is I get my mouse, I can click on the mouse, and then the function, which is my action of what I want to do, maybe I want my mouse to bounce. So can someone help me? Who wants to help me connect the blocks together? Okay. Yes. Hold on. Let me figure out how to. Oh, I think I need to share my screen with you. Okay, so you will see double of my screen. I'm going to give, is it Jack? So who wants to help me? Type in the chat, please. Okay, great. Okay. Okay, I gave you access. Can you move my mouse around? So how do I connect my blocks together? Can someone maybe draw to help her out? Oh, sorry. I was clicking on something. Try again. Can you do it now? Okay. Well, I see my mouse moving, so someone's moving my mouse. Really sure who. Okay, how about a board? Okay. Can we maybe draw on it to see how we're going to connect the blocks together? If you go to annotate and draw, can you draw to see how we do it? Okay, great. So purple circle to purple circle, and then what? How do we connect the rest? Great. And then what are we bouncing? So how do we connect that? Perfect. Great job. Yeah, so let's try it out. and we might encounter something interesting. So you'll notice it's glowing, but I can't click on it. Why do you think that is? So normally, if my mouse is here and I preview, he jumps. But when he's hidden behind, he can't jump because the image is kind of being blocked. So when I try to click on the mouse, I'm actually clicking on the tree. So we're going to try to fix that. And in order to do so, we're going to create an overlay. So to create an overlay or a mask, we're going to grab a shape that looks similar to the mouse. So in my case, I'm going to grab a circle because he's kind of round. And I'm going to put him over the mouse, like so. So this is going to be my hot spot that I'm going to click. Now, obviously, we don't want this circle to be green. So we're going to go to the little droplet here. And here we can change the opacity. So the opacity is basically how transparent or opaque an image is. So we can make it invisible. Okay. So now when I click on this invisible box, then my mouse will jump because it's on top. It's the layer on top. So to do so, I'm not clicking on the mouse anymore. I'm going to get rid of this link. So to get rid of the line, you click on the line and then you click on delete. And now I'm going to grab my circle, which is invisible, and I'm going to connect it like so. So when I click on the invisible circle, I want my mouse to bounce. So let's preview it to see. And when I notice that now it has a little hand, that means I can click on it. And when I click on it, my mouse bounces. So if you want to make the image bigger and smaller, you have these little the circles on the corners. They're called the handles. And you can just drag it to make it bigger or smaller. So if I want the mouse to be, smaller and the tree to be bigger, I can do this. Okay. So another thing we might want to do is maybe play a text effect animation. So I want to have this play a text effect. In order to do that, I'm going to use a new event. I'm going to use on page start because I want my animation to play on page start. So on page start, I want to play a text effect. And what do I want to play? I want to play the text effect of this text box. Who wants to help me connect? Let's see if my mouse will like you. Type in the chat. Okay, Bren, great. So, okay, I gave you my mouse. Can you control it? Does it like you? Ah, seems to work. Perfect. So then you can choose the effect. You can choose the speed if you want. We'll just keep it at that. Give me my mouse back. Okay, abort control. And so now when I preview, we have a nice animation. Albie likes to wake up in the morning and eat cheese. Where is Albie? Okay, So let's make Albie do more than bounce. Maybe we want him to do something else after he bounces. What do we want him to do? You want him to walk? Okay, so we can make him walk by using, or we can make him move left and right or up and down. Dance. How are we going to make him dance? So we can move him by using the move block. So let's try the move block. And in order to sequence animations, how do we do that? If you want one animation after another or one function after another, how can we do that? So we have two functions, right? Bounce and move. And I want Albie to first bounce, and then I want him to move. So how can I connect it together to make him move? Can someone help me? Okay. Friend again, let's go. Ready? I give you my mouse. How do we connect it? So to sequence functions together, yep, we're going to okay, great. So I'm going to take my mouse back. So when we sequence functions, it means we're going to have functions happen one after another. So first, I'm going to bounce, and then I want to move. So here you'll notice that there are some inputs. You have X, you have Y, and you have duration. So X is 0px. So px stands for pixels. Y is 0px, so 0 pixels, and the duration is 1. So what do you think this means? Does anyone have any clue? So let's just try it out. Give me a number. Type a number in the chat. Any number. Okay, so let's try 10. So I'm going to preview. And I'm going to click on Alvin. He's going to bounce, or not Alvin, Albie, and then he moves. Which direction does he move? It was a bit hard. Let's not play the text effect. It's a bit distracting right now. And let's make the number a little bit bigger. So let's try 100. I'm going to preview. I click on him, he bounces, and then he moves. Which direction does he move? He moves to the right. So X is the horizontal direction. It tells our character which direction horizontally it moves. Just like in math, X is the horizontal axis. I'm dying here. And what do you think Y is? Type it in the chat if you know. Type it in the chat. Let's go. What is Y? So Y is up and down. Let's try it out. So let's make X 0 and Y 100. So let's preview. Okay, so when I click on him, he bounces and then he goes which direction? Down. He goes down. Okay, so How do you think we can make him go up? So how do you think we can make him go up? So if I have 0, 0, he doesn't move. Okay, so let's try a negative number. So 100. So he bounces. Oh no, the mouse disappeared because he went up. So remember, we can use negative numbers, and we should use negative numbers if we want to make him move up or if we want to make him move to the left. So let's move our tree away for right now. And let's try to sequence some actions. So let's say I want him to go up. And then I want him to go. So making a mouse go up is kind of weird. So what I want to do is I want to make him go to the right. And then after he goes to the right, I want to make him go to the left. So I can use the same image object to connect. Or if I wanted to, I can also grab another one of these and connect it. Both of those work. And so let's try now negative 100. Let's preview that. So when I click on him, he bounces, he goes to the right, and then he goes to the left. There's other options under easing. So easing is basically how we can animate. Hold on, I need some water. Can I get some water? Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, much better. Okay, so you can play with some of these easings. So the one I really like is in, out, bounce. So let's just see what happens when I choose in, out, bounce. And when I preview, let's take a look. I'm going to click, he bounces, he goes to the right, and then he does a weird animation. Let's try another one. Let's try out bounce. And let's make him go further away. So if you want the animation to be longer, you can change the duration. So let's say I want it for 2 seconds instead of 1 second. And let's preview. Boing, 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 boing. So you could do the boing, boing, boing sort of animation by using the easing. I used out bounce. So those are just some fun things you can do with the move function. So I'm going to hide Albie on my page again. And some other things you want to do on your hidden picture book are to create some distraction. Okay, so for example, maybe I want some more trees. I want to layer it in the back. And actually, this background is maybe not the best background to use in my situation. Maybe this one's a little bit better. And you can also add a whole bunch of images if you want. So I'm going to look for some other images, maybe What happens if I type forest? I get some little forest creatures on my page, like so. Put a mushroom in, because I can. Okay. So one thing that you might want to do is you might want to be able to click on other characters on your page. So you can do the same thing where you hide the click event by creating a mask, or you can directly make it so that when you click on the image, it does something. So for example, maybe I want to click on the raccoon. And when I click on the raccoon, I want to play a sound effect, for example. So how can I connect those? Can someone help me out? Type in the chat if you want to help out. Yes. Let's see if your was it Sarat is your username? Okay, I give you my controller. See if it works this time. Can you move my mouse? Does it work? Oh, I still have the control. Well, I guess you have to draw then. I don't know why it's not working for you. So how do I draw it? Can you draw the connections for me? You go to annotate and then you can draw, I think, from there. Hi. Are you able to draw? That's strange. I'm sorry, I don't really know, so. Okay. So anybody else? Ren again? You're gonna help me? Or someone new? Okay, Jackson's gonna help me. Okay, how do I connect things together? You have my mouse. Great. And? Great. So, good job. I'm gonna take my controller back. So we have on click play sound effect, but we have a bit of a problem, and that is we have no sound effect selected. So to select a sound effect, we have to go back to the layout design. So you click on layout design, and then you go to sound. So the sounds tab is where you can choose your background music. You can record a voiceover, and you can also go to the tab sound effects. So I'm going to use so let's. What do you think about this sound? Can you hear it? Okay, I'm sharing my sound. So you just press the plus to add it to the page. And then when I go back to event graph and I select a sound, it'll be in the drop down. So now you can select it. So let's just try it again. I'm going to click on preview. And I can only click on the raccoon once. because I use the on click once event. If I want to have the sound effect every time I click it, then I would have to use the event on click. So that would be the difference. Okay, so it's kind of sad that I have a sound effect for the raccoon, but no sound effect for when I find Albie. So let's add a sound effect for when I find him. So let's go back to layout design and find a nice sound effect. Maybe do you like this one? Can't hear it? I don't know then. I'm sharing my computer sound as far as I know, so maybe Zoom, yeah, Zoom might have some difficulties. Okay, so I'm gonna select that one, Discovery 11. And, oh dear. Let's reload the page. Okay, don't think it added my sound effect. Need to get it again. This one I added. I'm gonna go back to event graph. And I need what function? I need this function, play sound effect. And now this is a challenge. How do I connect things together? Can someone help me? Okay, great. Let's try again. Okay, I gave you my mouse. Can you control? It says you're controlling it. Oh, I see you moving it. Perfect. You're thinking. How about you guys at the who's not controlling? You guys know how to do it? So click on the triangle. Can you click on the triangle? It doesn't work. I'm gonna take back my controller. Okay, how will we draw it? Mouse on click. Okay. So where would I connect this to? Here? 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 Okay. So basically, I'm doing functions in parallel now. So that means I am having two functions at the same time. So I need to now select my sound effect and let's try it out. Okay, great. So I think the last thing I need is maybe like a speech bubble. That says like you found me, something like that. I'm gonna add a speech bubble, and I don't know. The mouse was about here when he finished. Albie was about here maybe. You found me. Let's go back, and where do I want? I want this speech bubble to fade in at the very, very end. So I'm going to grab the fade block. And after I'm done animating, what am I fading in? The mouse is already there. What am I fading in? Yeah, I'm going to fade in you found. I'm going to connect this. Then I can choose a direction I want the fade to appear. I want to fade it in to the right. And let's try it out. Perfect. Maybe a little bit lower for my animation. Right there. So now we have quite a lot of animations going on this page. You can just decorate it and add more. And then on the next pages, you can do something similar. So let's say I want to use maybe some of the same code. If I want to use the same code, then I can click on the little down arrow here, and I can click on duplicate selected page. So if I click on this, basically it copies the page entirely, including all of its code. So now when I go to this page and I go to the back side, you'll notice that everything is here. They're basically the exact same. So this can be really useful if I want Albie to do the same animation every time I find him. And now all I have to do is basically arrange the trees a bit. Maybe add a different background image. Let's have him hide behind, I don't know, they're like a house. I have a fence. Something like that. And I want to make sure that my invisible circle is always going to be on top. And I can always check that by just bringing the opacity up. So that way it's always on top of the image. And I want Albie to be behind. Something like that. And let's change the background to something like this. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. Okay. So now I can say, like, what else does Albie like to do? Albie likes to play in the forest. Where is Albie? And now when I click on preview, all of the code that we had on the previous page, or there we go, all of the code that we have on the previous page should also work on this page. So let's click on preview. And I can't click on it, and that's because, make sure we bring it to the front. Let's check our code. Circle 0 on click preview. There we go. And Albie disappears. And when I click on our raccoon, he still has the same sound effect. And you see, we didn't have to code everything all over again. We just used the duplicate page button to copy all of our code and the layout, and then we can rearrange. So that's pretty much it for creating a simple hidden picture book. I don't know if you have any questions for creating your own, and I look forward to seeing you all create your own hidden picture book. And so that's it from me. And oh dear, I just realized that Okay. Unfortunately, I would have to re-record a lot of this video because I realized I didn't record it properly. So we're missing, I think, some of it. I think it's fine. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I don't know if you have any questions at the end, and that's it from me.